What if one of rock's most powerful voices, the voice behind some of the most iconic anthems of the 20th century, was forged not through fame, but through years of inner torment, silence, and a musical partnership that ultimately became his greatest enemy? For decades, fans believed the magic of Foreigner came from chemistry. Lou Gramm's soaring, soulful vocals and Mick Jones's precise, calculated songwriting. The hits spoke for themselves. Hot-blooded, cold as ice, urgent, jukebox hero, I Want to Know What Love Is. The band seemed unstoppable. But now, at age 80, Mick Jones is finally opening up. And what he's saying about Lou Gramm isn't just surprising, it's devastating. Behind the scenes, what looked like a rock-solid duo was anything but. Mick and Lou weren't just musical collaborators, they were a ticking time bomb. From the very beginning, their relationship was laced with creative tension. Jones, a studio-obsessed perfectionist, believed in layered tracks, polished mixes, and emotional restraint. Gramm, the Rochester-born powerhouse, lived and breathed raw energy, soulful grit, and spontaneity. At first, that tension worked. Their opposing styles fueled some of the greatest rock tracks ever recorded. But over time, what began as friction became fracture. Every recording session turned into a struggle for control. Gramm would want to record vocals live and raw. Jones would demand retakes and cleanups. Tour decisions sparked arguments. Set lists were debated like they were court cases. Even backstage, their conversations often turned cold, clipped, or non-existent. The music stayed hot, but the partnership grew ice cold. By 1990, it was unbearable. After more than a decade of hits, Gramm walked. Officially, he left to pursue a solo career. But those close to him knew the truth. He wasn't chasing something, he was escaping. And for a while, it worked. Midnight Blue, his breakout solo single, climbed the charts and proved that Lou Gramm could stand on his own. He released albums, toured with his own band, and tried to reclaim some of the joy that Foreigner had stolen. But the shadow of Foreigner was long. Fans expected the classics. Promoters wanted the hits. And even when Lou gave them his best, it was never enough to step fully out from under the brand he helped build. Then came the diagnosis that nearly ended everything. By the mid-1990s, Lou had been suffering from intense migraines and unexplained fatigue. In 1997, doctors found a tumor, benign but dangerously placed near his pituitary gland. Surgery was necessary. Lou's once lean frame swelled due to hormone imbalance. His vocal range dropped. His energy disappeared. The man who once belted out anthems night after night now struggled to find breath control, pitch, and confidence. He wasn't just battling for his voice. He was fighting to stay alive. But Lou Gramm wasn't done. In 1992, he had briefly reunited with Mick Jones and Foreigner. After the surgery, he came back again, determined to prove he could still do it. And for a while, it worked. The chemistry on stage looked real again. Old fans returned. New ones discovered the music. But behind the scenes, nothing had changed. The creative war resumed. Jones wanted to bring Foreigner into the 2000s with slick production, digital edits, new sounds. Gramm felt the soul was being drained. He didn't want to sound like every other band on the radio. He wanted to be the voice people recognized from vinyl, not auto-tune. And when that soul disappeared, so did he. By 2003, Lou Gramm left Foreigner for the final time. No announcement, no press conference, no send-off tour. Just a quiet, painful ending to a decades-long partnership. Meanwhile, Mick Jones kept the band alive. He brought in new singers, kept the tours going, played the hits. But even he now admits it was never the same. Decades later, Mick Jones has finally spoken the words fans never thought they'd hear. He says Lou Gramm wasn't just difficult, he was tormented, fiercely proud, unbelievably gifted, and tragically wounded by a music industry that took everything and offered little in return. Their creative battles weren't just artistic, they were personal. Gramm didn't want to be just a voice in someone else's vision. He wanted ownership. He wanted validation. And when he didn't get it, it crushed him. Because not all band breakups happen in flames. Some fall apart in boardrooms, in bitter silences, in stage-left exits with no goodbye. One fight at a time. One disagreement too many. One broken trust that never heals. Lou Gramm's story isn't just rock and roll nostalgia. It's a warning. Fame can elevate, it can empower, but it can also isolate and devour. In the end, Gramm gave the world unforgettable music, but the price was staggering. So next time you hear that unmistakable voice, think of the man behind it, a voice born in pain, a soul defined by struggle, and a legacy built not just on sound but on survival.